Hello, this is Eva Talks, and today my guest is Diana Veselska. Good evening, Diana. Good evening, Daria. Diana is from Ukraine but studying in Warsaw at Vistula University on the Faculty of Business and International Relations. Today, I would like to talk about prohibitions on abortions and public events in Poland, despite the fact that now in our world rather difficult situation and the second wave of coronavirus did not stop the women to go on the street and express their disagreement. Diana, please tell me, what do you think about the ban on abortions? Of course, as a woman, I cannot stand aside and ignore this topic. In my opinion, this is a very important topic that requires attention. First of all, I believe that everyone had the right to choose, whether it is a woman or a man. We all have the right to dispose of our bodies ourselves, but especially the woman is limited in her rights at that moment. I believe that if a woman is able to give birth to life herself, she must decide how this will happen and make a decision herself. No one has the right to tell a woman how to dispose her own child. The child is her creation, and she is the creator, must make the decision herself what to do with it. I understand that there are different circumstances in which a woman can make the wrong choice, but this does not mean that everything should be prohibited. To do this, you need to talk to her to help. Therefore, I disagree with the ban on abortion. Do you agree with the mass protests? Yes, I agree. After all, if there any disagreement or misunderstanding in which we feel helpless, we just want to shout about it and look for people who understand us. This is exactly what the Polish people did, led by a large number of women who came out to fight for their rights. In order for your opinion to be heard, you need to say it loud, and if it's denied, then you need to look for other ways to express yourself. I believe that it is the mass character and cohesions what will be able to express the opinion of the majority and will be able to achieve the desired result. I support the fact that Polish women came out on the way to fight for their choice. Would you go to the protests actions with them? As I said, I do not agree with the prohibitions on abortion, and in addition, I support protests as a way to fight for its opinion. Therefore, I would definitely join the Polish women as I'm in solidarity with them, and my presence could increase the number of protesters. I believe that each voice and person has its own meaning. In my homeland, Ukraine, I also participated in various protests, and from my own experience, I can say that protests work, especially if people are very convinced and united. Very often the state underestimates the power of ordinary people, but in fact there are many more ordinary people than people in power, and therefore they are strong. Therefore, I would go to protests in Poland. If there would be such circumstances or some inconvenience or compelling factors, would you dare to make an abortion? In fact, I have thought about this question more than once. Not that I had such circumstances, but I myself often pondered this question for the purpose of interest. Well, now the situation in Poland prompts even more thought. Personally, I would not have an abortion. For me, personally, again, it is very difficult to accept as a protest of an operation being performed to get rid of child, even if there were completely uncomfortable circumstances or any factors. I mean cognitive malformation, some deviation from the norm. I would rather keep the child than get rid of it, except for probably one case, if I knew for sure that the child would suffer all his life. But this is my personal opinion, which I came by myself. Therefore, I believe that the choice should remain with women, not the state. Could you give any advice to girls to avoid a situation with an abortion? Everyone creates his own destiny and acts as they want, but in any case, abortion is painful both for the mother of the child and for the child himself, who is simply being killed. It is very important to understand this for both parents at the beginning of sexual activity because each of them bears a colossal responsibility. You need to understand that human life is very important, and if you take the wrong step, that a potential new life depends on you, and this is very serious. First of all, you need to think about everything in advance, and if you need to consult in order to avoid mistakes, nowadays there are many opportunities, and you can always find help and support. Well, Diana, thank you very much for this interview. I hope that each girl from this interview will catch some of the point and will act according to her conscience. In any case, thank you very much. And thank you very much for this invitation for your program. Thank you very much. Bye. Bye.